Hello, I'm Andy Allen, Associate Program Manager with United Space Alliance. During my 3 missions on the Space Shuttle, I had the unique opportunity to view Earth from space. Earth is truly a one-of-a-kind planet. Its thin atmosphere and water resources sustain our lives. While our mission may be to the stars, we have an obligation to protect the world's resources so that the future generations may prosper and enjoy the same or even better quality of life as we do. The John F. Kennedy Space Center shares its land holdings with the Merritt Island National Wildlife Refuge. The refuge provides a buffer zone for NASA in our quest for space exploration. Approximately 1/2 of the 140,000 acres on this refuge consists of brackish estuaries and marshes. Over 500 species of wildlife inhabit this area, with 16 of them being listed as federally threatened or endangered. Clean water is vital in maintaining a suitable habitat for these species. As wardens of this national asset, we have an inherent responsibility to minimize the impact that space exploration has on the fragile ecosystem of the wildlife refuge.
The work we do at the Kennedy Space Center has many benefits for people of all walks of life, but can have an adverse effect on the environment.
In our quest to develop new and innovative technologies for all mankind and to safeguard the environment, Danny Merritt and I have devised a wastewater treatment process to mitigate the oil contamination of wastewater produced by the washing of generators and heavy equipment at the heavy equipment wash facility.
Wastewater is treated using a bio-remediation method, a process where naturally occurring microbes, typically bacteria or fungi, degrade harmful chemicals into non-toxic compounds.
This presentation will explain the process and equipment that Danny and I have developed to effectively treat oil-contaminated wastewater.
The cleaning agent Simple Green is used to clean our equipment. It is a non-toxic, non-ionic, biodegradable cleaner that does an excellent job of dissolving and loosening oil and grease. Simple Green also does a great job in breaking down large globs of oil and grease into much smaller microscopic droplets, making them more suitable as a food source for bacteria. While washing equipment, the wastewater flows into either the east or west collection sump, depending upon which bay the equipment is in. The west collection sump has 2 purposes. It collects wastewater produced while washing equipment in the west wash bay and acts as a capacity surge overflow containment. To maintain the capacity surge capability, the west collection sump is maintained below the half-full level as much as possible. The east collection sump collects wastewater produced from washing equipment in the east wash bay and serves as the location for the gravitational separation and aeration with agitation waste treatment processes. With gravitational separation, as wastewater enters into the east collection sump, dirt and soil heavier than water sinks to the bottom of the sump, whereas non-dissolved grease and oil float to the top. The dirt and soil that accumulate on the bottom of the sump will be physically removed and disposed of as solid waste. The grease and oil that float to the top are removed from the wastewater by a commercially manufactured industrial oil skimmer. The waste oil removed by the mechanical skimmer is disposed of as a controlled waste. The aerator assembly aerates, agitates, and circulates wastewater in the east collection sump. As the bubbles rise, they create an upward current of wastewater, drawing water from below the aerator diffuser tubes. The wastewater is deflected by the angled aerator assembly deflector plate and is expelled out of the front of the aerator assembly. This wastewater flow causes a surface current that helps to push floating contaminants towards the mechanical skimmer for removal from the wastewater. The aeration of the wastewater causes agitation, which helps the Simple Green in the wastewater solution to break down the globs of oil and grease into smaller droplets and causes oxygen to be dissolved into the wastewater. The combination of the small droplets of grease and oil caused by Simple Green and water agitation and dissolved oxygen in the wastewater are the perfect environment for bacteria to metabolize and break down the oil contaminants into non-toxic compounds and various gases. As wastewater is added to the east wash sump, the wastewater passes under the skimmer plate and over the sump separation barrier and into the center accumulation sump for further processing. The skimmer plate keeps a large portion of the floating contaminants out of the center accumulation sump by allowing only wastewater from 6 inches below the surface to pass. Additional treatment takes place in the center accumulation sump by circulation through a rock media filter. The wastewater is pumped in a closed loop and allowed to trickle over a river rock media in the rock media filter. Oil bonds more tightly to itself and other materials than to water. This affinity and differences in surface tension between oil and water causes oil-based contaminants to adhere to the rock medium, removing the oil from the wastewater. As the wastewater pours back into the sump upon exit from the rock media, it breaks surface tension of the wastewater in the sump and helps to aerate the wastewater. To validate the filtering capabilities and performance parameters of the wastewater treatment system, a battery of samples were taken between November 14th and November 18, 2003. The results can be seen as how the water becomes clearer and less discolored over the course of 96 hours of contact time.
As you can see, the water has been very effectively filtered. This water is now suitable for disposal in the sanitary sewer system.
After it has been determined that the wastewater is suitable to be transferred to the sanitary sewer, the retractable overland wastewater transfer operation pipeline, also known as ROTOP, is deployed from between the heavy equipment wash facility and the local sanitary sewer lift station. The center accumulation sump wastewater circulation pump is de-energized. The hose from the center accumulation sump wastewater circulation pump is disconnected from the rock media filter and reconnected to the retractable overland wastewater transfer operation pipeline, the ROTOP. The center accumulation sump wastewater circulation pump is then re-energized, and the circulation pump is used to pump the treated wastewater to the sanitary sewer lift station. After the sump has been drained, the center accumulation sump wastewater circulation pump is disconnected from the ROTOP and reconnected to the rock media filter. The ROTOP is retracted and stored on the storage reel. At this time, any wastewater that has been collected in the west collection sump is pumped to the east collection sump to begin the treatment process of that wastewater.
We hope you enjoyed our presentation today.
And remember, environmentalism isn't about saving the environment, it's about saving us.